I've missed this soundtrack as well. I mean, I also like the manga game version where they had like their own different soundtracks, or maybe even was the original. I don't even know. The question marks. Some of them were ridiculously over the top, like that one that like has ridiculous distortion where it just goes, and it's just like a bit nuts. But I like that one that was like, I can't even remember how it went in my head, but that nice slow piano and strings one. I loved that one. It was nice. There, you're all done. He withdrew the needle from Sadako's arm. It must not have hurt much for the needle to be pulled out. Sadako kept her eyes closed in fear, thinking that the needle was still inside her arm. Needles suck, man. Sadako, you're all done, you know. That wasn't the Rika voice. What? Oh, it's finally over? As Sadako opened her eyes, she found that Irie was no longer sitting in front of her. Takano was wiping her arm with rubbing alcohol instead. So wait, was that? Sadako, you're all done, you know. Yeah, maybe it's her perspective here. No, it isn't. Or maybe it was. That's right, you're all done now. Dr. Irie is good with needles, unlike me. You didn't even notice he was finished. Don't touch that part of your arm for a while, okay? Also, try not to carry anything heavy. And instantly I remember the voice I gave her as well. Of course I know that by now. I mean, how the hell do I even remember how to do these character voices when it's been like nearly 2 years or something? Maybe even 2 years, I don't know. Good for you, Sadako. I'll pat your head for you. Oh wait, no, that's definitely Rika. That's gotta be Rika that said that. It was nothing. There's nothing I did that would require you to pat my head. Not long ago, she would go into a panic when it was time for her to get her shots. The way she behaved today in itself is worthy of praise. Everyone in the room smiled, aware of that growth. Please give her the usual test. Will you, Takano-san? Sure. Alright, Sadako-chan, it's time for the quiz we always do. Your quiz is always quite difficult for me. Take it easy. If it's too difficult, you can just tell me what you don't know, that you don't know the answer. You don't have to think too hard. Just tell me whatever comes to mind at the moment. Takano smiled at Sadako to ease her tension. Then she led Sadako to a desk in the back of the examination room. I hope Sadako gets better soon. I don't know if it's because of the heat, but Sadako has been showing negative symptoms since last month. Change of the seasons can affect her physically and emotionally. I mean, if Hanyu's here, this clearly Rika's there as well, which would make sense that she'd be there because she's, you know, she lives with Sadako and all that as well, and they're best friends, man. And I find it weird. I was like, I don't know if it's because of the heat, but Sadako has been showing negative symptoms since last month. So does that mean, like, in this, like, it doesn't seem like every scenario has, you know, Sadako, you know, feeling ill or anything like that. So does she just retain memories of events leading up to it, even if she was just thrown right in the middle of it with no context? I assume so, but then again, I don't know, because, like, you can't go back a month there because they've been stuck in June. Anyways, the change of the season can affect her physically and emotionally. It's not a surprise that this is happening to her. I'm going to see Irie and ask how Sadako is doing. What are you going to do, Hanyu? You know what? I'm curious. Let me see. Yeah, we haven't done this in a while, so I can't really... Yeah. So, blah blah blah. That's gotta be Hanyu's name then. What characters are those? Those three. That's still the same thing with me, you know. I can read Japanese if it's hiragana, to a lesser extent katakana. I see freaking kanji characters and I'm like, Well, we know it's gotta be Hanyu's name, so that's about it. So I can read that. That's Itami Ruwa. But again, not that I can translate it without the translation. I just know how like what each character is. So that's about it, really. I was just wondering if she'd have like an interesting character in her name or something, you know? Maybe she does. I don't know. I'm going to stay with Satoko. Well, am I pronouncing it? It's Satoko. Satoko. Could it be I've been pronouncing her name wrong this whole time? Satoko. That's like Sadeko. It's not Satoko. Am I pronouncing it wrong or what? Like, if that's the case, if I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole entire LP, I don't even know. Thank you, I'll leave it to you. Hanyu went over to where Satoko was. Satoko, yeah, I remember now, that is, I have pronounced her name like that before as well, so, yeah, I guess I was just rusty and forgot the correct pronunciation, even though it's pretty damn obvious it's a T and not a D. Fortunately, I'm the only one who can see Hanyu. She won't be a distraction if she goes and observes Satoko's test. I, of course, would be a distraction like that. This is supposed to be a routine exam, but it seems like Takano is teasing her by giving her difficult questions. It would be pretty funny to observe how Satoko reacts to them. I'm a little jealous that Hanyu gets to watch everything without being a ball to Satoko. Hee hee. Ha ha. Ha ha. Irie was talking with two other staff members about Satoko's exam results. I walked up and joined them. Okay, it's like this is always the case with this. I remember this is an issue I'd always have with LP and Higurashi series, is trying to figure out who's speaking at any given time. Even when they're on the screen, you can't be sure. Thank goodness she seems to be improving. From what Irie was saying, her results must have turned out well. Irie, how is she? Don't worry, the results were good. I'll discuss this more with you two later. After ordering his staff to continue their work, Irie showed me some difficult paperwork and started explaining to me. I guess we overreacted to the test results from last week. Her condition shifted dramatically because of the change in climate. Did she have a cold by any chance? There was one night recently that was fairly hot. Satoko was sleeping without her blanket and her stomach was exposed. She might have caught a cold that night. She was sleeping with her belly exposed. I poked her belly button, but she didn't wake up at all. That sounds like fun. Please call me if that happens again. I would love to. God damn you, freaking pokes Toko's belly button. Why? It's so soft. Her belly is chunky too. It was so cute that I didn't want to cover it up with a blanket. That's why she caught a cold, huh? Rika, I can hear you. You better put a blanket on me next time. You're in the middle of a quiz. No. That's probably Takano, maybe. You're in the middle of a quiz, Satoko-chan. You need to concentrate. Irie, Hanyu, and I all laughed. Satoko went back to her test with a bitter look on her face. Irie began speaking to me in a softer voice, but with serious intensity that fogs up his glasses. She's in remission, but her level is still L3 negative. She was and will continue to be in a critical condition. She's never ever going to get better. Just like with the non-anaphylaxis, you can't pronounce these words, can you? Her body will be conditioned to react severely even after the foreign chemical is out of her system. React severely, yeah. In other words, she'll never move below the level 3 stage. Yes, that's right. But it's not the end of the world. She can control it by maintaining a proper lifestyle, as well as taking some medication. But will never be cured in her whole lifetime. I looked at Satoko as she enjoyed taking her tests. She seemed to be having fun, even while being teased by Takano. I can't believe that she's suffering from an incurable disease. If you think of it in a negative way, you're right. But many people in the world are coping with incurable illnesses. Diabetes is a good example. The condition itself can never be cured, but the symptoms can be controlled. I know that very well. There are many worse diseases in the world. Satoko might be in a relatively good situation compared to many other sick people. Of course, I'm not giving up on her. I'll make sure that I'll cure her disease someday. I promise. I trust you. Yes, trust me. Irie spoke to me with a serious look on his face. As Satoko's best friend, I felt relieved to hear his words. I'm sure he'll do his best to save Satoko's life. I have no doubt that he'll do so. I've seen him act like this in every life I've lived. I also know why he's so passionate to save her, but I'm not supposed to know about it in this life. That's why I always pretend not to see his sad smile. By the way, Rika-san, we'll be conducting another big test at the end of the month. Am I going to be the guinea pig this time? It's not like that. You're only helping our studies, which will save many people's lives. Irie's guinea pig is not just Satoko. I'm also one of them. Although guinea pig is probably not the right term. Without Irie's efforts, Satoko would not be here today. For that reason, I should be showing respect to this man. I smiled at him since my choice of words had hurt his feelings. Meep. If Tessme can save Satoko's life, I don't mind being a guinea pig. Thank you for your support. I wouldn't be causing you so much trouble if I had more money and equipment. Next moment, the phone rang. Irie answered it in his usual business-like tone. Hello, this is Irie. Moshi Moshi and all that. Whose line's that? Okay, this is someone on the line. You have a call all on the line from Tokyo. I'll transfer it to the other phone. I can hear the voice from the phone. Just like, not even give them any distinct voice. This is... Wait, no, wait. Who, what? Ah, that must be Risa-san then. Is it that time of the year already? I'm going to pick it up at the office. Will you transfer it here? There. Absolutely, please hang up on this line, is that case? Okay, I'm sorry, Rika-san. I got a call from Tokyo. Don't mind me. I don't know if I had any lines there. Was I supposed to be voicing? As soon as Irie hung up the phone in the other room started ringing. That's the trouble with these novels. They're not like regular old visual novels where they'd like have the characters' text, you know, so you'd know they're talking. This one plays a lot more like a traditional novel, you know, where it's like, well, kind of, but not like fully, but it's as close to a proper novel, you know, compared to visual novels that have a very different pace to them, different wordings and stuff. Just in the area, hung up the phone and the other room started ringing. He left the examination room and headed towards the office. Hanyu returned to my side as soon as Irie left. Hanyu doesn't like to be around me when I'm talking with Irie. I don't think she dislikes him. It's just that she doesn't really want to hear what he has to say. Irie doesn't mean any harm, but Hanyu is often hurt by the things that come out of his mouth. How's Satoko doing? She's not good at spot a difference like usual. I was able to find more differences than her. I don't care how well you did. What about Satoko? I thought she was there to check on Satoko, but she was taking the quiz alongside her instead. It's like when you're watching a game show on TV or some shit. It's like, yeah, I know the answer to that question. And it's just like when the contestant gets it wrong and you get the answer right, you're like, have it, bitch. I got the answer. Even though it makes absolutely no difference whatsoever because you're not the one on the show itself. That's so typical of Hanyu. She was treating it almost like a game, but Satoko was tired after taking the same quiz every week. She seemed sleepy, especially after waking up so early this morning. The quiz in this case wasn't about a right or wrong answer. It was about timing, in minutes, how long it took her to answer the question, and observing how she acted during the quiz. Not all of the questions would be simple ones, so Satoko often got headaches, more so than even the spelling test we take at school. Is it almost over? Yes, it is. The book Takano has right now is the last one. Takano was showing a book to Satoko with abstract pictures inside. I couldn't even tell if that was supposed to be a picture. It was just a symmetrical ink stain. This is the last one. What do you think this is? Both Hanyu and I looked at the picture over Satoko's shoulders. Even I didn't know what to answer when looking at the strange ink stain. Satoko continued to think. Takano observed her taking notes while Satoko struggled. She was also timing how long it took her to answer, holding a stopwatch under the table. I spoke to Hanyu so only she could hear me. What do you think it looks like, Hanyu? It's soft serve ice cream. It fell onto the ground and ended up like this. It's been wasted. I see this is a good test for understanding a person's mind. No, that was more of a hee rather than, a kind of To me it looked like a horse mackerel that had been cut open and its guts pulled out. But that's a lot more morbid. I was thinking of food too. It was rather shocking to learn that my thought processes are the same as Hanyu's. Well, including the horse mackerel that had been cut open and its guts pulled out. What does it look like to you? You don't have to think too hard. Satoko must not be very good at this test. She always takes a long time to answer questions like this. She finally opened her mouth to speak. It's like two butterflies are on top of each other. Two butterflies on top of each other. Tell me more about it. Why are they on top of each other? Takano continued to take notes as Satoko spoke. Curious about what she was writing, I looked, but... Is that German? I can't read it at all. Takano is so mean. They were apart for quite some time, but having finally reunited, they're excited to see each other again. I apologize. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. No, you're doing just fine. You can just tell me whatever's on your mind. That's the whole point of this test. Are you certain even such a strange answer is serving a purpose? Of course. For example, take this picture. You gave me a totally different answer last year. I can tell how you've changed just by comparing how you respond. Well, I don't like this test. What did I even say last year? Takano smiled and took a note without answering her question. I tried to remember what her answer was, but I have more than 100 years worth of memories in my head. Hanyu might remember her better than I do. As I looked at Hanyu, I realized that she was standing there with a sad expression. I decided not to ask her. I could tell what kind of answer Satoko gave back when just by looking at Hanyu's face. Last year, June 1982, that was when Satoko was being abused by her cruel aunt. Recalling that, I don't even want to know what Satoko answered. But just a year later, Satoko, who was so worn down, could no longer be seen. She became so strong. I know how difficult it was for her to stay tough and strong like this. Her growth over the past year is overwhelming to me. Are you done with the test? Irie returned from his office. Yes, we are finished. Satoko-chan is handling it a lot better now. We were done pretty quick today. Oh, I did my best to ensure it was done with quickly. I have plans after this, so I can't stay here too long. You have something after this. Today is Sunday, right? We're doing club activity at Ms. Uncle's toy store today. I can't tell if that was Satoko or Rika, because I don't know. No wonder why you were so obedient with the test today. It was because you had plans. Sorry we held you for so long. Well, here's your stuff, Satoko-chan. Here, put a big paper bag on the table. He opened it up and gave her instructions about the medications. Satoko had heard the same instructions over and over before, but Irie still continued to talk just the same. Since you're doing better, you can go back to 2 shots per day. Please give yourself a shot before lunch and before you go to bed. Make sure you change the needle every time. Don't ever use the same one twice. I'm prescribing this one in case you really need it when you're feeling sick. Yeah, same as usual, I know. Satoko couldn't wait to meet our friends for the club activity. It made me feel happy to see her as excited as this. She only has to take 2 shots per day now. I'm glad. The number of shots she has to take each day represents how well she's doing. So it's a good thing that she has to take fewer shots. It's tough for her to give herself a shot 2 times a day. Wait, no, that was probably Rika saying, ow, ow, ow. And you grew quiet after hearing my comments. Irie handed her the paper bag after he finished his instructions. Rika, at last it's over. Good job. You seemed anxious during the test today. Have fun with your friends. I'm sorry I was so tense. You have my thanks for all you've done for me. Are you going to make it on time? I can give you a ride there. Oh, I also bought a new stuffed animal. It's in my car. You can give it a name if you like. Oh my! What sort of creature could it be? I wonder what I should name it. Well, what is it exactly? You kind of give her a sarcastic tone there. I don't think she was being sarcastic either. It's a cat again. One with tiger stripes this time. I think you'll like it a lot. Satoko and Takano are good friends. They're both fond of stuffed animals. Every time Takano gets a new one, she brags about it to Satoko. That's all they have in common, but having a friend like Takano is a special thing for Satoko. She's part of the Higurashi family who tried to betray the village. People at the clinic are the only adults who will even talk to Satoko. Have fun at the club. You should suggest wearing maid uniforms for the punishment game. They have already did that one time. I think it might even be... Yeah, it was. It was in the previous arc, wasn't it? I have every kind in every size. Either way, I'll see you next week. You're a strange man. No, thank you. See you next week. Wait, no. No, that must have been Rika's line then. I gotta remember, sometimes it's obvious from like how the characters are on screen. If they don't switch to another pose, it's probably not them speaking. Well, let's be going. Our battle today is not only against the club members. I'm itching to put my skills to the test. I bowed slightly and made to leave the examination room, but I soon realized something. Irie was looking at me with a sad expression on his face. Just with that look I could tell what he wanted to say. Please take care of Satoko-chan if something happens to her. I nodded at him and stepped out into the hallway with Satoko. My goodness, I'm used to those tests and quizzes, but they always leave me exhausted. You don't like taking the tests? Well, I don't, but they are my job. There's nothing I can do about that. Satoko is supporting Irie's research. She gets financial support by helping him out. Or at least, that's what Satoko thinks she's doing. Satoko was bursting with enthusiasm, so we headed to full speed. We wound up waiting for Keiichi and the other club members for a long time. We're nearly up to an hour here, man. I hope it doesn't go out of sync. We got here early, but they were late. And you know, another annoying thing is, if it does go out of sync, I don't think I'd be able to separate the audio and the video like I usually would. Because Shortcut doesn't seem... Well, no, it's not Shortcut that's the issue there, although it would still be a bitch. It's because the recording, you know, keeps the all the audio in one. So if it goes out of sync, it's kind of screwed. We got here early, but they were late. I think they were late the last time we did this too. Did it mean that this was something that was meant to happen? It's unpleasant that I can't even change the most minor of fates. I finally saw them coming towards us on their bikes. Hello everyone! How oddly slow all of you are! Satoko acted like she was upset, but I could tell that she was pleased to see them just the same. Oh, Satoko is so cute! That's why I'll never tire of her. She's adorable. Satoko's behavior soothes my feelings of frustration. This is why I love Satoko. If she was a small, fluffy animal, I would definitely keep her in a cage. Why in a cage? Good morning, Satoko-chan and Rika-chan. Good morning. Hey, good morning, Rika-chan. Satoko, think fast. We gotta do this quick before the cops get here. Our goal is 1 billion yen. Huh, Kate-san, what the hell are you talking about? Are we late? When did you guys get here? It didn't take too long, so we've been waiting here a while. Mion and Rena know what Satoko gets Satoko gets a checkup every Sunday at the clinic. Sorry about that. Kei-chan didn't show up on time, so that's why we're late. It's just like I've said his name in a way that like I thought the sentence was gonna go somewhere else rather than be like Kei-chan didn't show up on time. It was like a brief pause. I don't know. At Keiichi, so he's the reason they're always late. That's not really surprising me. Wait a minute. Am I a bad guy here? The bad guy here? Of course. Of all the club members, you're the only one who can play the villain. Ho ho ho. What's that supposed to mean? You better watch your mouth. Keiichi and Satoko messed around with each other. That face. The classic. Satoko acted like she was crying and Rena punched Keiichi, knocking him out cold. It was the same old situation they always got into. I can watch this sort of thing forever. It's like having a glass of cold milk after taking a hot bath. I can never win again. Oh yeah, that must be Keiichi then. He's on the floor. I can never win against her. Should get up and move before she cracks your front teeth. We all laughed at him and finished greeting each other. They're as lively as always. Nothing's more precious than one's health. You sounded like an old lady, Rika. Shut up, who cares what you think? I'm not going to eat any sweets if you keep on saying things like that. And you seem to be getting more depressed than usual. I should stop teasing her so much. It was a joke. Will you get off of me? I'm sorry. That must be a weird sight, considering nobody else can see her. Hanyu loves sweet treats. She especially loves cake and ice cream. Since she can't eat anything, she has to depend on me when it comes to that. In other words, whatever I eat, Hanyu can taste too. Even if Hanyu craves something, it doesn't mean anything if I don't eat it. In other words, I have total control of what she eats. That's why it's fun to tease her with saying what I'll eat and what I won't. It's up as fun as teasing Satoko. What was that?
Oh, you seem to be in a good mood today, Rika-chan. I want to take you home.
You'll be arrested if you do that, you know. I mean, there's scenes where she just picks up and grabs catches and dashes off, but presumably doesn't get home with them at some point. Maybe, presumably, she snaps out of her... What was it I give a name for it? Her cute mode or whatever? Hey, Mion, the store owner is calling you. And you know what he's also calling? He's calling this a record session. Because now, I'll do. So this will be 2 parts at the very least, like an hour long. basically split into two, so there's that. Still, you know, it's when did I? It was just 2 days ago, I think, when I recorded the first part. It's the 2nd of June. I'm not gonna upload like straight away, like the first part I still haven't. Kind of like waiting a little bit, just kind of like till like I get a bit of recording. Now I've recorded 3 parts total. Maybe after the next record session, that's when I'll start uploading. But there's one thing I forgot to mention in the first part as well, is the upload schedule. It's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be like this. Main channel, right? Upload on my main channel. Next day, Higurashi on the VN channel. Okay, looking the same as usual currently. Then the 3rd day, upload to you know, the main channel, and then the 4th day is nothing, no uploads. 5th day, upload the main channel. 6th day, upload the VN channel. I'm kind of like thinking of like, you know, having like at least 1 day off the recordings, you know, for uploading, because like I've gotten so used to, like, because it's been months, you know, since the Planet LP with my own choices ended, so, you know, getting back to, you know, uploading daily would be kind of a pain in the ass. I prefer like to have at least 1 day there, you know, where I'm just like, I don't have to upload, yeah. Although my sleeping pattern from time to time don't end up uploading sometimes anyway. It ends up uploading the next day when it was supposed to be the previous night. Simply because I either don't get around to uploading, or I end up sleeping early, or what, I don't know. Just varies, you know. But anyways, I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.